Listen up, I'm about to share 7 pickleball secrets that 99% of players get completely wrong. These aren't basic tips you've heard before. These are tactical game changers that will literally make your opponents question their life choices. I've watched thousands of players make the same devastating mistakes over and over again. But here's the thing, once you know these 7 secrets, you'll never look at pickleball the same way. Your opponents won't know what hit them. By the end of this video, you'll have a tactical advantage that most players take years to figure out. Some never do. So grab your paddle because we're about to revolutionize your game, and stick around for tip number 7. It's the most ruthless psychological weapon in pickleball, and it's completely legal. Tip 1, the reset revolution. Alright, let's start with the reset shot that's going to change everything. Picture this scenario. You've just hit your 3rd shot drop, you're approaching the kitchen line, and suddenly you're forced to hit a reset from the middle of the court. Here's where 95% of players completely screw this up. They aim straight ahead. Big mistake. When you reset straight ahead, look at what you're working with. Your opponent is leaning in, and you've got maybe 2 feet of court to work with. That's like trying to thread a needle while blindfolded. But here's the game changer. Always reset cross court. Always. Look at this difference. Cross court, you've got an extra 2 to 3 feet of court to work with. That might not sound like much, but in pickleball, that's the difference between a winner and an error. Plus, and this is crucial, the net is 2 inches lower in the middle. Physics is on your side. I implemented this in my own game, and within 2 weeks, my reset percentage went through the roof. Your opponents will start getting frustrated because they can't put away balls they used to crush. Tip 2, the aggressive dink counter. Let's talk about handling aggressive dinks. This is where most amateur players completely fall apart. Here's the typical scenario. You're in a nice cross-court dinking rally. Everything's under control, and then boom, your opponent rips an aggressive dink at you. Watch what most players do. They see that aggressive ball coming and they panic. They drop their paddle head and just bunt the ball forward. Congratulations, you just gave your opponent a dead ball to attack. Game over. Here's what the pros do instead. When you see that aggressive dink coming, keep your paddle completely level, sideways. Don't drop it, and redirect that ball cross court like you're nudging it with precision. But here's the secret weapon most players miss, the footwork. When you see that aggressive dink coming, cross step and cut it off early. Don't trail the ball and reach for it. Be aggressive with your positioning. Cross step, cut it off, redirect cross court. Your opponent just lost their advantage, and now you're back in control. Tip 3, the overhead defense system. Here comes the nightmare scenario. You or your partner pops up a ball, and your opponent is winding up for an overhead smash. Most players just stand there like deer in headlights. They're about to get destroyed, and they know it. But here's the counter-attack strategy that turns defense into offense. The moment, and I mean the moment, you see that ball pop up, you need to take ground. Step back as far as you can and get low, really low. Here's the timing that separates good players from great players. You move back while the ball's in the air, but you stop moving right before they make contact. If you're still moving when they smash, you're dead in the water. Sometimes you'll only get 1 step back. Sometimes you'll get 4 or 5. It doesn't matter. Take whatever ground you can get, then plant your feet and prepare for war. Your opponent thinks they have an easy put away. Instead, you're ready to send that ball right back at them. Tip 4, the drive defense shield. Let's talk about defending hard drives when you're at the kitchen line. This is where confident players turn into nervous wrecks. Your opponent's at the baseline and they're about to rip a drive right at you. Here's what usually happens. The ball comes screaming at you. You panic and you dump it into the net. Why does this happen? Your timing is completely wrong. When you see that drive coming, your paddle is probably here, too close to your body. As the ball approaches, you're reaching for it at the last second. That's where errors happen. Here's the fix that will make you feel like a wall at the net. When you see someone winding up for a drive, get your paddle out in front immediately. Not when the ball gets close, immediately. When the ball comes, all you're doing is reacting to which side it's on. You're not trying to hit a winner. You're not trying to be a hero. You're just blocking and surviving. Your job is to neutralize their drive and keep the ball in play. Force them to hit another shot. Tip 5, the drive versus drop decision matrix. This is the decision that separates strategic players from reactive players. When do you drive your 3rd shot and when do you drop it? Most players just pick one and stick with it. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight sometimes and a bazooka to a chess match other times. Here's when you drive. Scenario 1, your opponent hits a strong return that lands deep and you're off your back foot. Don't try to be fancy with a drop shot. Drive it hard and look to reset on the next ball. Scenario 2, your opponent gives you a short return that bounces high, about thigh height or higher. You're at the advantage. Make them pay for it. Drive it hard and put pressure on them. Here's when you drop. Scenario 1, you get a mediocre return that lands near the baseline but doesn't have much pace or spin. Perfect opportunity for a controlled drop into the kitchen. Scenario 2, you get a shallow return that bounces low. Don't try to drive from down here. Drop it soft and take control of the point. Tip 6, the hand battle domination. Now we're getting into the psychological warfare zone, hand battles at the net. Most players think hand battles are about power. They try to blast the ball through their opponent's chest. Wrong approach, wrong target, wrong mindset. Here's the secret that will make you lethal in hand battles. You don't aim for the chest, you aim for the knees. When you hit the ball down to your opponent, opponent's knees, they're forced to hit up on the next ball. And when they hit up, you get an easy overhead smash. It's like setting up your own winner. This isn't about power. It's about precision and placement. Master this, and hand battles become your favorite part of the game. Tip 7, the psychological dinking weapon. Here's the final secret, the one that's going to mess with your opponent's head. Most players dink just to dink. They're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Big mistake. Every dink should have a purpose, to set up an attack. You're not just keeping the ball in play, you're hunting for that pop-up you can attack. But here's the psychological weapon that most players never use. When you hit a dink that gives your opponent trouble, a really good one that puts them in a tough spot, don't just stand there and watch. Hit that dink and immediately step forward. Shrink the kitchen. Take space. Get your foot over the center line if you have to. Your opponent now has to hit a difficult shot while you're breathing down their neck. The psychological pressure is crushing. They're thinking about your presence instead of focusing on their shot. There you have it. 7 tactical secrets that will transform your pickleball game. These aren't just tips, they're weapons. Reset cross-court. Counter aggressive dinks. Defend overheads like a pro. Block drives with confidence. Choose your third shot strategically. Dominate hand battles. And turn your dinks into psychological warfare. Your opponents won't know what hit them. If this video just changed your game, smash that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which tip you're most excited to try. And if you want more tactical breakdowns like this, hit that notification bell. Now get out there and dominate the court.